So a few words about Fuelio. So Fuelio is Android app for basically it's car management app. You can track fill-ups, fuel consumptions, and many other related costs with your vehicle. Since 1 month, it's also crowdsourcing app, and right now you can rate petrol stations, search for nearby petrol stations, and check the fuel prices at the petrol stations. Okay, I started the project in August 2011, and it was my hobby project. I've got my first Android device, and I wanted just to learn some Android development stuff. Previously, I've been a web developer, so my experience with Java was almost zero. But I've got some programming experience, so I've started learning Android development. In 2015, I've joined Sidegeek with my project. You could read about Fuelio on many Android sites, like Android Police, Polish popular blog Antiweb, Android Community, Android and Me blog, for example. Fuelio was also featured at the Play Store homepage a year ago. At the end, I will show you how the featuring effect looks in numbers. Okay. In my presentations, I'd like to show you that coding is only one part of the job you will do while working on the app. There are many aspects you need to also know and focus on while working on the app. So basically, you need to be one-man army. So when we think, what is important, for example, you need to know something about design, creating UIs, graphics. Don't worry, no need to be graphic designer because, yeah, you are a developer, but it's really good to know and recognize good and bad looking design. Also, don't forget, you need to know something about marketing, social media. You need to be support. So basically, you are creating the app. So don't forget about support for users. The next thing, monetizations. Yes, you want to earn some money on your app. So it sounds easy, but you need to focus also on accounting. So when you will start selling the apps, you need to know a little bit how selling apps in Play Store and Android works. It could be different in many other countries. So, and the next part, from the beginning, I was trying to create Fuelio as a global project. So I've started with a global project. What about translations? I've started with English and my native language, but what about other languages? Without other languages, you won't get so many downloads, so this is important. I will tell you a little bit later. Let's back to 2011 for a moment. So back then, we've got Eclipse. Right now, we've got much better development tool. I am not Eclipse hater, but yeah, Android Studio is much better. So basically, I wasn't able to reply for a comment in Play Store. For example, and when I started, there was no way to sell apps in the Play Store, so the app was free, just like that. We don't have enough billing, we know right now, and when we think about the design, there was no official guidelines for design, so action bar, what is this? Because that time we've been using third-party libraries for stuff like action bar. Of course, probably you know that action bar Sherlock, which is that project. You know why, probably. And basically, we don't have, like I said, design guidelines. But from the beginning, I was trying to follow design patterns, and we can send unofficial guidelines. If you've been following some Googlers on Google Plus or Twitter, you could get some recommendations for the design in Android. And back then, in 2011, there was something like dashboard pattern. I don't know if you remember this, but the first Google I/O app and the first Google Plus app was using this pattern. And to be honest, before I've got my app ready with different pattern, but after releasing Google I/O, after Google released Google I/O app, I've tried to change my app to fit this pattern. And it looks like it was a good choice, because after that I got some really nice feedback about the design, maybe not so good about the app, because I was learning Android and not everything was working then. And then I was learning Android stuff, and I was always trying to follow some guidelines. So a few years later, we've got this sliding menu, and also this year we've got probably one of the biggest Android UI changes. We've got Holo theme, and it was also a good choice because I was pretty quick with changing and switching to Holo, and after that I saw I am getting a really nice number of downloads. And I saw the first reviews of my app, because there was some kind of buzz about Holo apps, and you could read on Geek sites, for example, I don't know, rankings for Holo everything. There was something like that. Today, we've got, of course, material design, which is really great because we've got official documentation for design and creating UI. Of course, I'm trying to follow right now material design. It is changing, so you need to remember that this is not something that was created a few years ago. It is all the time changing. We've got all the time something new. It's really good to follow the guidelines. And if you are a developer and you don't know, maybe, I don't know, you can say nothing about the design, but if you are not as strong in design, try to follow the guidelines, because the documentation is really great, and it will give you a really, it should give you all you need to create good-looking app. Okay, so let's move to the Dev Console. So, like I said, years ago, we don't have possibility to reply to comments in the Play Store. Right now, we have, and the review section in Play Store right now is really great. Probably this is the place when you should spend your time, a lot of time, just to give your user feedback. Do not reply only for bad feedback. Try to communicate and talk with your users, because this is very important. I am really very active in the reviews. I am trying to contact some users if I see there are some issues in some countries. I am trying always to ask them what's wrong. So probably, because you know, reviews, they are used right now by users to ask for new requests, report bugs. We can change it, so maybe it's a good thing, for example, to create something, and if you see that something is, and when you see some comments very often, or the one issue from many users, maybe it's a good track to find a bug in your app. And right now, this is also important. After, when you will, for example, fix the bug, do not forget about reviews, because you could get bad review in the past because of some bug, but when you fix it, try to search for the comment and try to reply to the user that you've already fixed it. Probably you will get better review, and in most of the cases, users are changing their reviews, because rating is important, and I will show you, I will tell you at the end why. Basically, also, good support will give you good rating. Rating is very important for promotion. And when you want to be promoted, you need to have quite a good rating for your app. I am also a huge fan of internet monitoring tools like Google Alert, Brand24, and Mention. This is a screenshot from Mention app, which got a free version also. So you can try it. How does it work? So basically, you can track what people are saying about your app. So, for example, we've created the brand. We've got Fuelio right here. And thanks to this, I am able to track what people are saying on the social media, but also in their internet. Sometimes it could be time-consuming to track it in another way. This is a really great tool for that. Okay, what about promotion? Before you will spend money on promotion and any internet campaigns, I don't know, make sure that your store listing is set up properly. Do you know something called App Store optimization? What is it? I think it's not so popular like SEO. Basically, this is something like SEO is for websites. So you can really get better results with Google Play search. With optimization, for example, you can play with app titles, which is very important. If you can give users some context in the title, use some keywords, probably you will get better results for the keywords. This is important. Of course, it's not always possible. The next very important thing is descriptions. Make sure the first paragraphs of your descriptions are written properly. Do not spam with keywords, because you will see that you will get bad results, worse results for the search. Make your icon sharp. Give with your icon some context to user. What is your app for? And remember about screenshots, because it's very common that you've created the app and then you are just doing some screenshots just like that and pushing to Play Store. Do not put in the store listing empty screenshots, because it's very important to give users some context. For example, if you need to, it's really great to show user how your app is working and what you can get with your app. So maybe you can put there some samples, but I am not talking about lorem ipsum, for example, so do not do that. Also remember that you can post something, you can post video at store listing. This is very important, because video is connected with YouTube, and basically to connect your app with this video, you need to post some video on YouTube. And as you know, YouTube is second most popular search engine, so while putting your video on YouTube will give you another promotion channel, which is YouTube. So make sure also the descriptions, the title on the YouTube movie is correct, just to give users another possibility to find your app. And the last one, I really like that. This is quite new. You've got some this is called in experiment sections. You will find something like A/B tests for your store listing. So basically, you can check what screenshots will give you more downloads. The same for title, the same for descriptions. It's really nice. You can do really nice tests for us, and probably after 1 week, you should get quite a good results with that. Okay, what else? It's really nice to create some social media channels for your app. Also, simple app would be great with some domain, because it will give you another channel and another way to find your app once again. Also, I am using social media as a communication channel with users, because some users are using mails, some users will use Facebook, Twitter, I don't know. It's really great to have also social media channels, just to give possibility to mention your app on social media. When you got this, you can simply try to send some requests to some Android blog sites for review. You can start maybe with some blogs in your country, just to check if they are interested. And then you can send the reviews to some Android popular sites if you think your app is great. Also, internet monitoring tools could be great for promotion, because you can track some discussions about your app or about the topics related with your app, and thanks to this you can join some discussions and maybe try to give users, try to tell them about the app. It works really well, and you can also get really nice reviews and good rating for that. Okay. Another important part, translations. So basically, once again, you are starting the app and the budget for your app is 0. Yes, so in my case, crowdsourcing is working really well. So basically, I can recommend many tools for crowdsourcing and translations. My favorite is Crowdin, and as I know, this is a Ukraine startup. I really love it. Thanks to Crowdin, I am able to translate with my users the app. Right now I've got over 30 languages fully translated. I've got over 100 translators. It's also a really great tool to contact with them, and it's really easy to move the files, translated files, to the app, back to Android Studio, for example. Also, this is a great tool because it will save your time and your translator time. Of course, you can do it, for example, with simple Google Docs. I don't know, you can send phrases, but thanks to these tools, you will save your time, and they are really great. Okay, now let's talk a few words about monetization. So in 2012, I was finally able to publish paid app in Play Store. And to be honest, it was a nightmare for me. Because back then, I don't know how it was in Ukraine or other countries, in Poland, there was a huge problem with the taxes. Because basically when I went tax inbound office, and I tell them and ask them how to do that. There was no simple questions, and it was really problematic. And it took me a few months to fix this problem. And yes, I was able to publish paid version, but back then there was no in-app billing we know right now. So the only choice I got was I could create second app, which was paid with new features, or many developers have been doing something like create the second app called Key, and when you have this key, you will get more features in the primary app. Do not do this today. Today, we've got better monetizations API, so you can use in-app payment, in-app subscriptions, but this is totally outdated, so do not use it anymore. It was working, but it was also problematic when you think about piracy. It's obvious. It was really easy to hack it. Okay. In year 2014, I've introduced material design in my app, and then I saw that the number of downloads almost doubled after that. And at the beginning of 2015, even changed 4 times. It was a really, really nice peak, and I was really shocked because it was a quite big increase. It was also the year I got the first business offers from some companies. And, you know, most of them were related with selling the app, so I was easily able to sell my app, get some money, and just finish it. But I knew that I am still enjoying developing the app, and I didn't want to do that. Only I've got one offer, then a few months later, I've got one offer that got my attention. And it was the offer from the Sajik CEO, Michał Stencl, because the offer was a little bit different. So thanks to the offer, I was able not only to sell my app, Sajik was interested with the app with me. So basically, I was able, it was that moment I was able to switch, leave my primary job and join Sajik with my app, which was a really good choice because Sajik is a travel and navigation company. So it was related. They've got really nice knowledge about the thing I am doing, and Fuelio really great fits its portfolio. And since 1 year, I am working at Sajik, only for the Fuelio as a product developer and product manager and developer. Okay, and at the end, this is the last slide. I'd like to share with you how the Play Store featuring works in numbers. So I was nominated to be featured at Play Store, and when you think about featuring, how it works, so it's a process. You need to be nominated, and then if you are nominated, Google will send your app to review to Google Play editorial team, which is great, but the team will find many issues with your app. So basically related with material design, some services in the app is not working. They will check also store listing, your screenshots, if they're okay. For example, if you are missing something in the store listing, they will tell you that, for example, app cannot be promoted that way. But I was able to fix the issues after some time, and then this is the effect of the Play Store featuring. Basically, Google's got, it was a year ago, so maybe it changed right now, but a year ago it was some kind of cycles. So for example, Fuelio was featured for 1 week at Play Store homepage, and thanks to this, in 1 week, I got over 100,000 new users for the app, and it was really great. Okay, thank you. That was my presentation. And if you've got any questions,
okay. Just a second. Yeah, it's working now. So, any questions? Any questions? Who gonna say, ask? Okay.
Yesterday you told me a story that I really liked, that through these brand observing apps, you found that people on Reddit are talking about hacking your app and running pro version for free.
Yeah.
Could you tell this, because this is really cool?
Yeah, because thanks to internet monitoring tools, you can track the discussions in the internet, for example. So it's also really to find some communities. I don't remember if it was Reddit. The Reddit was probably later, but it was some kind of community related with pirated apps, so or hack apps. So basically, I could join this community and tell that, hey, I am the developer and I really like that you like my app. So basically, the effect was that I sold more apps, more pro-key. some users from this group bought the app. But it was, like I told you in the monetization sections, it was a wrong, I don't know, maybe it was the only, I've got only one choice, yes, with the monetization with the second app. So right now it's not a problem anymore, I think.
Okay, so other questions? I saw a hand, I think, yeah.
Did you do something in particular in order the company you're currently working in employed you?
Could you repeat that?
Did you do something in particular to achieve that that company you mentioned, I forgot the name, employed you with your app?
No, they just found me. So basically I got email from the CEO and we started chatting.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, I just have one small question. Have you thought about starting another hobby application?
No.
Okay, so thanks, Adrian. Let's say thanks, Adrian, and.